G'day guys, Matty Extreme Auto Caravan and Camping. Another beautiful day in Adelaide, doing another big off-grid setup. This one's a massive one, so stick around, I'll give you the full rundown. Microwave, air conditioner simultaneously, all from batteries. G'day guys, welcome to another massive off-grid lithium setup. This one in a Terrain Tuff NetworkRV, brand spanking new. These guys hit us up a while back with, they've got a nice little family here that they want to do a bit of touring and they want to be completely self-sufficient, pretty much limited to water only, and not have to worry about power, and obviously bring their accessories with them when they go camping. So that's coffee machine, the air conditioner, induction cooking, microwave, washing machine. All of your products that you've got at home, bring them with you. This setup will allow that. And just like a lot of our setups we do, they're always uniquely customized for that customer's exact power needs. And this one, once again, is no exception. So the rundown on this one here, we've gone for the 2 PowerPole 280 amp hour lithium batteries. So there's 2 of them there, parallel together. So that's 560 amp hours of lithium batteries here. That's over 6.5 kilowatt hours of storage, 6.7 to be exact. So that's going to run this system quite well, you know, running the air conditioner during the night without any dramas at all. It's got the ability to do that with that much energy storage here. And we've gone for all the Victron fruit in this one. So this has the Victron Multiplus 2, nice and slimline version. And I'll get into the reasons behind that one in a minute. So we've gone for the Multi 2 12 3120 amp inverter charger, running on all the factory outlets, guys. So yeah, that's microwave, air conditioner, your induction cooker, the hot element on the stove if there's one, you know, washing machine, hairdryer, toaster, kettle, all of your mains power devices that you have at home will run on this system quite well. So we've got that taken care of that. Solar on this one, as you guys are aware if you've seen my other videos, and I encourage you to do so because they're always different. Not every Caravan roof is the same, and even then, you know, hatches might have been deleted or moved around, or they might have opted for a different fridge or a different air conditioner, or you know, in this case, there's a DRS, a domestic dust reduction system on the roof. So that affects the way you position your panels on the roof. This one though, the roof hatches were actually in a really cool position, and I'll tell you why. So I've got a DRS directly in the middle, up the front. You guys will see the drone footage in a minute. That's straight up the front, right in front of the other hatch. So they're like kissing each other. There's no gap in between it. In between that and the AC, there's not much space. So that's all in a straight line. Then behind the AC, there's another roof hatch where you can't get anything there either. But then behind that roof hatch, the only other roof hatches are in this corner. So what that means is I'm able to put big runs of solar down the left and right hand side of this, as well as across those gaps, which we've done. So this came originally with two 200 watt panels, which funny enough I've already discoloured. Another story for another day. So we've managed to squeeze, guys, 1200 watts. Now when I hit old mate up for that amount of solar, he's like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. You know, the more the better. And that's the way it works with solar. So there's two solar controllers on this. So the two Victron 50s here, so the 5100s. And each of them are taking care of 3 of the panels. So 3 are in a series string, 2 split to 1, and then the other 2 split to the other here. So that way there's a left and right sync here. So if the sun rises on that side in the van and this side, you're going to get an even charge over the day. And having that split array there will allow these to work in unison together because they are networked together. So that's the solar, guys. 1200 watts of solar, and it's like 8:30 in the morning. I'm getting 500 watts already, and the sun's actually just behind a hill here, so it's only just popped through, and kind of that's east behind me, back left, and that's kind of west over there. So as the day progresses, I'll get some snapshots of this because it's on the VRM portal, and we'll try and get some like crazy numbers. I've had to leave the air conditioning on heat this morning when I first arrived, just to smash some energy out of this thing. So I've sucked about, well, it's sitting at 81% now. We've sucked about 150 out of it, I reckon. And it's going to replace that really quickly. So I might end up shutting the solar controllers down and then returning them back on at, say, 10:30, 11ish, when that sun's a little bit higher in the sky. And we'll see what numbers we get into this system. So that's the 2 solar controllers. So obviously you're going for the smart shunt with the CERBOGX and the Touch 50. All right, so that's that system there. All the Victron fruit. Now the DC charging in this one, we've shot for the Redarc 50. The DC charger here for vehicle charging will be 50 amps. Now we've done the circuit all the way to the drawbar in this. We've also inspected old mate's 200 series cruiser for the existing Anderson system. Unfortunately, it wasn't up to par. It actually had a melted pin. It also had a auto reset breaker on the feed for that, a 50 amp job. So I know straight away what's going to happen. That auto reset breaker will start going click, click, click under a big load that this DC charger demands. So that was rectified immediately. We've gone for a MIDI fuse, and that's an 80 amp circuit now all the way to that rear Anderson on old mate's vehicle. So when we plug that in, which I'll do for you guys, we'll try and get that charge rate all the way through. We've also done the side-mounted Anderson plug for our mate here. So he has unregulated solar panels, potentially being able to plug into the side of this, which will pump through the Redarc and into the Victron system. And it's all shown up on the touchscreen as a load and a charger. So big system, really happy. The cable you guys have probably seen me use, I love red and black. I've always used red and black. Same with my 50-70mm cable. And we've started to use, especially for tight applications, the flexi cable. I love it. It's really good stuff to work with. It is very flexible. And because of that, we'll still stick with the red and black if we can, if we have those nice, smooth runs of cable. But unfortunately, some applications won't allow for it. So we actually carry this flexi for that reason. It's very difficult to deal with the solid red and black. But this stuff is like really flexible. I can really bend it right around some tight places and then hydraulically crimp my lugs on, and it's a really, really good quality copper. That's a tie cab cable, guys. That's tie cab 50mm. It's actually welding cable, I think they class it as, but it's a really, really high-end cable that we're using on the on this sort of stuff. So once again, the batteries on this are outside, quite literally just here. So here's the wheel arch. I'll zoom in and give you some photos. The batteries, so there was two 35 kilo AGMs in this, now right behind the wheels. They're obviously been removed, and the 12 volt existing circuits that were there have now been relocated inside here. So it didn't have to move far, but it did move. So we've got the relocated circuits are the fridge. So this is the compressor fridge. You've got your master 12 volt, which is obviously your black switch by the door, which controls the factory system. That remains in situ. You've got the breakaway and the radio memory. And then obviously our additional circuits that are there. We've also got ESC on this. This came with ESC from factory. That's been relocated inside here as well. Sway control. And obviously we've added a couple of things, like we've done the WITI system on this, guys. This is the security system on this. So if someone was to steal this, you know, the horn's going to beep, all the lights going to flash, the wheels are going to lock up, and, you know, good luck towing the thing away without being noticed. And this is the current model WITI, so it's actually got the optioned up PIR sensor as well as a magnetic read switch on the door. So that means if these guys go to bed at night, they arm the system. You know, the bunk beds are at the rear. The door's at the rear. So as soon as someone cracks that door, bang, all the lights are going to flash, the horn's going to start beeping, you know, intrusion alert. Parents going to wake up pretty quick and gently tell someone to disappear. So that's really good insurance to have at night time. It's also a good thing for storage as well. If you store your van, guys, in wherever, and you know you leave for the day or you leave for the week, hit that alarm. It's just an extra piece of insurance for you to have on your Caravan. So it's got the WITI system. So like I said, guys, the extra circuits, DC charger, solar 1, solar 2, and all the MIDI fuses are there. Easily accessible. This has a little cheeky door here, so I can put my hand in really easily and get to those MIDI fuses. Old mate will not need to lift up any of these cushions to get to anything, because all the fusing is done in this location. Very happy there. Everything's all tied down and secured, double vented, triple vented actually. We've got the vents on the back of the solar controller, a big vent at the rear of the inverter charger down there, tough to see, and we put another one over there just because, well, we can. And there it is, guys. So compressor fridge on this. There's, you know, hot water service is a Swift hot water service, and that is, you know, it has no ability to run from the inverter. It's on the other output, so that'll only run from mains should mains come off of this, shore power turn off. The hot water service, if they left the switch on for whatever silly reason, the electric switch that is, it'll never run from the inverter. So if they're free camping and they turn the inverter on, you're going to hear the beep from the air conditioner and the microwave. That's it. No, nothing else comes on. Obviously all the GPOs are on. You know, your outside one, this one next to your bed for laptops and whatever. But the hot water service will not come on, and that is that's how it should be done. So this one has the potential to pump in a lot of power, guys. If we get 1200 watts out of this, like, I'll be chuffed. That'd be great. They are flat mounted, as you know. If the flat mounted panel of the sun's here, you never really see the peaks. You know, you do, you don't. It's variable. The idea with solar is to do the best you can. So with 1200 on this, these guys are going to see some massive numbers. So 50's coming from the vehicle. We'll talk amps. You got 50 amps coming in from the vehicle, and, you know, 70, 80 amps, like more coming from the roof. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out how many amps that is coming in. That's a lot of power, guys. This thing will pump in well over 120. These are like, if these guys were camping, right, so 560 amp hours, okay? You go to bed, you're running the air conditioner, whatever. You've done a crap load of cooking. You went to bed 100%. You go, whatever. You wake up at 50%. So you've used 280 amp hours, all right? And you know you're driving the next day. Sure as shit, once that solar starts ramping up and you've got that 50 from your car, you know, you're only replacing 280. It's not going to take long to fill this back up, and you've hit that reset button and you're camping again from a full battery. And that's why we have lots of solar and we have big DC chargers. It's just filling the batteries up as quick as you can with whatever you've got at the time, whether that be your generator from, you know, mains power, the beautiful sunshine, or your vehicle. You want to fill those batteries up real quick so you don't have to stress about it. On the flip side, if you don't, it doesn't matter. You've got a lot of energy storage here to buy you time in those overcast, crappy days, or if you're hung up somewhere for a really long time. And, you know, but what I do say to people, it's still not infinite, guys. Doesn't matter if you were to tow 6 caravans full of solar and have them full of batteries. You still have to live in the means of what you got. You know, you've got a battery bank to live by, and you've got X amount of solar to live by. We can't control the weather, so you have to always deal with what you've got. And that's when the Cerbo touchscreen comes in. And this is why I love using them. On the one screen, it'll show you everything, and I mean everything. I can see it right now just from where I'm squatting. I can see the solar, I can see my AC loads, and I can see, more importantly, what's left in my battery and where the power's going. So I can see right now I'm pumping in 32.8 amps, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm 81% state of charge. And I can see the little dots sliding into the battery, so I know I'm charging. I'm not discharging, I'm charging. And before long, this will be pretty full. So I know I'm 81%. If I come back in 2 hours' time and I see it at 78%, well, I know I've used 3%. My point is, it's a very easy screen to see and understand. If you want more detail, you just press a button and get into it. I can slide on into the smart shunt. I can slide on into the batteries and see what's happening. Consumed amp hours, last discharge, average discharge, total charge cycles. If you want to get real nerdy on it, you can. You can just hit that button, go into it, and see whatever you want. Same with the solar. You could log on to each of these solar controllers individually to see what array is pumping in more based on where you are. I mean, this is all techie, nerdy stuff, but for you guys that want to know more info on it, it's so easy to do with that Touch 50 or Touch 70. So we'll do some rundowns. Got a cheeky coffee machine here. I probably won't turn on. It's brand new. Don't want to christen it for old mate. I'll let these guys do that. But I'll might remount my induction cooker. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll get my induction cooker going with a bit of water in it. We've got the microwave here. We've got the AC. It's a beautiful day here in Adelaide. We have full sun. There's not a cloud in the sky. Far cry compared to yesterday and the day before working on this. We couldn't even do the solar on the first day. It was bucketing down rain. We had that massive windstorm that came through Adelaide and the Arvo. We had to hunker down and just keep working on it. Day 2 yesterday, not much rain, but overcast, crappy. But today it's worked out well. For my test, I actually get some sun to deal with. So there it is, guys. Once again, the rundown. 560 amp hours of PowerPool custom-made lithium batteries. That's over 6.5 kilowatt hours. Each battery will discharge 250. So that means one of these batteries can run that inverter. We've gone for the Multi 2, 12 3120. So that's a 120 amp mains charger, 3000 VA inverter, and 12 volt, obviously. Running on all the factory circuits. Microwave, air conditioner, induction cooker, toaster, kettle, hairdryer, washing machine, everything you want to run off the grid from home, bring it with you. Going for the 2 Victron Smart 50 solar controllers. So these are the 5100s with 1200 watts feeding both of them, 600 in each one. Lots of power there. And we go for the Victron Smart Shunt for the battery monitoring. That's obviously up to the CERBOGX and Touch 50 for monitoring of the complete system, which it is on the VRM portal. So old mate can remotely monitor this, control it, do whatever he wants. I can see the same thing, and I can do all the software updates as they become available and just check up on his system if I need to. All the MIDI fuses are here, easily labeled, ready to see. Gone for the WITI on this for extra security, and factory overlay means nothing changes, guys. The 12 volt switch up there will still always work, except now it's being pulled from 560 amp hours as opposed to 2 crappy, boat anchor AGM batteries. There we go, guys. Do the rundowns and enjoy this one. Here we go. This is my induction cooker. It's $50 or something online. And we'll crank it up. Maximum. It's like 2,000 this one. We'll bring it in. That's just the induction cooker, guys. What are we at? There you go. You can see from this. 530 watts, got 500 odd watts of solar, so I just punched 9 o'clock. Is it? 9:30, sorry. And so that induction cooker, yeah, it's a super efficient induction cooker. I've had it for a while. That's on flat out and that's all it pulls. I've never really seen it go over the sort of, 1500 watt mark, 1600 watts. So it's quite a good induction cooker. Microwave, yes please. So microwave, induction cooker at the same time. So once again, the PowerPool lithium batteries, guys, have a continuous discharge of 250 amps per battery. So that's a combined total of 500. This inverter has zero potential to ever reach that number, and that's why we use them. The redundancy factor is there. If one fails for whatever silly reason, doesn't matter, the whole system can continue to run. Beautiful. Coffee's ready. Let's go. Oh, I know the induction cooker's still on. Oh, we'll go, because it's very hot in here. I've had this thing on like hot. So we'll go 16, fan 2. 16, so the IBIS 4 on 16.2 with the induction cooker. You can hear it ramping up. Beautiful. So why do I do, running microwaves, induction cookers? Why do I do it? I had an email saying, what's the purpose of it, Matty? I understand you're showing your system, but in the real world, people don't do that. The idea of it is, some people do. if it's stinking hot, right, and your batteries are full as a goog, right, whatever. If I want to use the induction cooker outside and I'm inside, I don't know, reading a book, if you had a smaller system or a different brand of system, you would have to shut down one of the items for either one to work. So you can see the number that's there, right? It's just hit 2080. So, but you got to remember, that's running power. You need that surge. And this is why I like using the Victron inverters. They have that, well, they're a low frequency inverter. And I'm not going to get into the techie side, but you can look up high frequency inverters versus low frequency inverters. The idea with a big tranny in it, that big inductive load has no effect on the system. But not only that, the Victron can run in overload for a good period of time. It's designed to do that. And that's why I use them. So that little ramp up, or you turning on that microwave for that 2 or 3 minutes, you can do that with the Victrons. You can't do that with the other systems. As soon as you exceed their limitations, so if you've got a 2,600 watt inverter or a 2,000 watt inverter, as soon as you go over that number, the inverters clip off. They're designed to do that. It's not a fault in the system. It just means you've hit that limit and it's beeping at you, hey, shut me down, turn off. The Victron won't do that. If you exceed its overload limitation, which I think is about twice its power, don't quote me exactly, if you exceed that, which I did recently, which is good, I've been trying to do it for ages, well, then it shuts down on you. Okay, it actually shuts down on you, but it throws a warning and tells you what happened, which is good to know. It says, inverter overload, and then it resets automatically. So it senses that, hey, the loads have disappeared, I'll come back on, continue to do what you're doing. But here's the kicker, and don't forget this, the batteries have not shut down. It's not the battery BMS that's turned off, it's actually the inverter that's shut down. And that's what you want. You want to have a battery system that can support the inverter's loads at its complete maximum. And the idea behind that is, well, your fridge keeps running, your lights stay on, nothing gets reset. That's what you want. And, let's face it, you're not going to do this every day. You're not going to have the air conditioner going, someone outside with an induction cooker going, you're not going to have someone in here with a kettle going, and then all of a sudden turn the microwave on. It's the real world. We're in a caravan, you're not going to do that. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to go for a larger system, and that would be in the specifics of the design. So that's the questions that we ask you guys. What do you want to run? How long for? Do you want to run multiple items at the same time? If so, what are those devices? And then we'll size up accordingly. You might have to go to a 5,000 VA inverter and jump to 2448 volt. That's the nature of the design. But that's what it comes down to, the designers of the system. So we'll flip it back around. We're still running. The induction cooker's outside and the air conditioner's blowing out nice cold air. And that's what it's using. You can see I've only got 500, it's only 9:30, so 500 watts coming in. When the sun starts to rise up, that's going to really ramp up really fast. Beautiful. And I don't know if you can see that. Add steam. Let's go check it out. Don't take long. I love the induction cookers. So you can imagine a windy day, the side of the road, wherever. You just flip that induction cooker out, press a button, you're cooking. no pulling out gas. There's nothing wrong with Weber, you know, I got a Weber. But for cooking up something really quick and easy, those induction cookers, you just slip them away somewhere, and you've seen them all now, they're all installed. You can get them installed now in your little slide outs, or you put them at the front, keep them portable. But if it's a windy day, there's no heat loss. They're absolutely perfect. I really love them. So as the wind comes through, there's nothing. There's the plate, there it is. Perfect. All right, we'll go for the big load test. We'll go air conditioner. I'll go turn that induction cooker back on, and we'll whack that microwave on. Let's do it live. Follow me. All right, that's back on. Air conditioner will still be running. Yep. All right, happy days, and let's go microwave. So air conditioner, microwave, and induction cooking all at the same time. See if we can get an overload and a shutdown. Induction cooking, air conditioner on 16.2, running at full song, and the microwave all at the same time. How good's that? That's the system. That's the Victron. You can only do that with a system like this, guys. That's beautiful. That's me zapping a bit of food or warming up the kids' food. And, you know, I'll got the misso outside cooking a couple of sausages. And, you know, kids reading a book with an air conditioner going. All on the side of the road. That's free camping. I love it. Enjoy. Pretty rare though I get to stand on a verge and do this with you guys. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These two, and that one are all tied in as one. These two and that one are all tied in as one. This is a split system. The reason behind it is for the shade. You can see if this array gets shade, then this will keep going. So if the sun disappears over there or goes over this way, you still get a uniform charge. That's why we do it like that. So they are the 6 200 watt allvolta cells. They're a perfect fit on this roof. Happy days. Just noticed, it's a good reminder that, so the sun's there. Alright, and that Stovey pole is casting, it's right next to the van, it's casting a big shadow over this section right here. And if we go inside, you will notice a diminished amount of power. Solar 2 is the rear array, and that one's the front one. Notice how it's giving more power, but it's still good power. You gotta remember, it's still only early in the morning. Beautiful. Only 20 odd minutes later, and that Stovey pole's shade has disappeared. So that's, yeah, the thickness of a Stovey pole would be like a tree trunk or something. That's a really good example of what happens when you shade the system on one array, but the other array keeps going. But have a look at that Solar 2 now. It's really ramped up. Still only early in the morning, guys. These are good numbers. Okay, sun's in and out now. The overcast has kicked in, but that's pretty good from a 1200 watt system. At 11:30. Cracked the 1000 watt mark a few moments ago. I tried to capture it for you, but the sun's starting to disappear. That's what we got. We'll let it roll for a bit, eh? We want that to come out for a bit. Give it a minute. you.